Hi there, Cards on the Table with Vicky. Today I want to show you a pop-out gatefold card. It's a very simple one. I just want to show you my quick way of doing this card. So this is the pop-out gatefold card. So a gatefold is where it opens from the center and opens out like this, like a gate. And then it pops out in the middle section. This one I'm showing you has been used with thoughtful expressions, the little bird and flowers in that set. This one here I did with the new layers of beauty masks and Stampin' Dies, which is a beautiful big rose, and there's the roses in the center, but I cut out the bits that were all around it and have used it on the whole card there. But you see how it opens like a gatefold? So that's the gatefold, opens in the center, and this is the pop-out section. All right, so I'm going to show you how I do this. This is a simple way to do it. So you start with your card base and just fold it in half like you normally do any card. Fold it in half. And then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be scoring first. Now I am using centimeters here, but I do have inches as well, which I will show you in a moment. I will give you those measurements for an inches card as well, but this is centimeters. So I score it at 5 centimeters, straight up and down, just like that, 5 centimeters. And then, now you can move it along till you get to 16 centimeters, which is 5 centimeters in, but I like to just turn it around and do it again from 5 centimeters, because I know both ends have to be 5 centimeters. It's much simpler. So the next thing I need to do is I turn it on its side, and I know that I want 2.5 centimeters in. So I get my 2.5 centimeter line there, and I'm going to be cutting this time from the first score line to the last score line. So I just have to see that, and I'm just going to find that spot there and bring it down and cut it from the first score line, which was the 5 centimeter one, down to the other one on the other end, like so. And then I'm going to turn it around and do the same thing at the other end. So it's 2.5 centimeters again. I'm coming in and I'm going to the first score line, and I'm cutting to the last score line. And I'll show you again. And you see, now I know that they're both 2.5 centimeters in, which is where I wanted them. Now in this design, you really don't need, you only need to be scoring here and here, but this piece here in the center, you cover that with some cardstock and you lose that center score line. So it's just easier if you fold it in half. This is my easy way. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to be scoring again it's going to be 7 centimeters in now, so it's an extra 2 centimeters in. So I was at 5 centimeters at my first score. Now I'm going to 7 centimeters, making sure that my cutting tool is out of the way and I'm using my scoring tool. I'm going to score now from that cut line down to that one, between the two cutting lines. Now I'll just show you that. See how I've scored that? Between the two cutting lines. Now I'm going to turn it around, and again I was at 5 centimeters with the first score line. I'm going to go to 7 centimeters, and again, making sure you're on the score tool, not the cutting tool, you're going to score it from one end to the other in the middle between the two cut lines. Can you see what I've done there? I hope so. And that is your basic design. Now I'll just move my cutting tool out of the way because we don't need that now, and I'll show you how it gets folded. So this we know is our oh, I did that the wrong way actually, but just a little hint too, when you have a score line and you have an indent, that means that that piece of your cardstock has been stretched, so it's easier to fold it. So you actually should fold it on that line, on that score line, fold it in. That's actually easier, and it gives you a nice mark on the inside, so I'm going to do it that way. There we go. So that's my first bit. You can see that's my gatefold. Now I want to do that pop out piece, so this one I'm just going to pinch that in a little bit and pinch that one in a little bit and fold it in like this, and working a little bit, and see how it just pops out, and I've got my pop out piece. So there's my pop out gatefold. Now you're going, oh, that's folding in the middle, but we're going to cover that with some solid cardstock, and it won't do that anymore once we've done that. So let's work on the, we can work on the inside or the outside first. Let's work on the inside so that I can show you what I'm talking about straight away. I have a solid piece of cardstock. I could make it a little bit bigger than that actually. I've made it a little bit small. I'm just going to make a slightly bigger one. And if you're not sure on your sizes, just get your old ruler out and give it a measurement. So this one's 7 centimeters by 9.5. So I would like this piece to be 7, just under. I'm going to go 1 centimeter under. Actually, I better make sure I've got 9.5. 9.5 centimeters by 7 centimeters, and I have literally gone 1 millimeter under that to get that, because I just want it to be just under. And see how that will cover that? So I'm just going to put some glue on there very quickly, and there we have, don't worry about extra glue because I'm going to be sticking stuff on there anyway. So that is covered, right? And you can also put a piece like that on the back for writing on as well if you like, or just to cover that score line. Now for today, I just want to move that glue. No, glue gets everywhere, doesn't it? All right, for today, I'm going to be placing, I'm using the Simply Zinnias designer paper. I should tell you that. That is an online exclusive, and there we go. Now it's totally disappeared. How about that? And I've got that solid piece there. And then what else am I going to do on that one? I'm going to put this on top, I think. This piece that I had was slightly smaller. There we go. There. So we've got that. And we want to cover up. Let's get our sides and bits done. Our bits and pieces. So I have, I'm using this, it's Melon Mambo, this designer paper. Very strong colours in the Simply Zinnias paper pack, but I just love them. They're really bold and bright and cheerful, and I just couldn't resist buying them and trying them out, and I've nearly used the whole pack. So this is actually all I've got left, which isn't much at all. And I've got these little bits here, which I'm going to now layer up onto the sides here. One on that side and one on this side. Just quickly doing it, showing you how it works. So you can use, you can just use plain cardstock if you want in a different color. You can emboss the cardstock, and sometimes I've just done embossing folders on some cardstock and used that. But today, like I said, I'm using this online exclusive Simply Zinnias. I would say yes, buy it. If you haven't tried it, it's amazing paper, just beautiful. It also has a stamp set and dies that go with it. and I haven't purchased that yet, but I wanted to try it out first. I like the look of the paper, and I just thought I'm going to try this paper first, and I just love it. So there's the inside of our card. See how quickly it's coming together? I'm not going to do the rest of it for the moment. I'm going to work on the outside now. So for the outside, here's some more of this paper. Here's a little tip too. Sometimes if you don't want too much cardstock, or you want to just save yourself on cardstock, you want to use up some more of your designer paper, I'm using more of this Melon Mambo paper as just a mat. So I'm going to, instead of using the Melon Mambo cardstock as a mat, I thought, well, you know, I've got all this paper to use up, and this one is very strong paper colour, so I feel like it, you know, I could use it up as a back as well as a feature part. So that's what I'm doing. So it's so remembering that the gatefold parts here, they're 5 centimeters. So I've brought this first one is 4.5 centimeters, and now this one is 4 centimeters. And then of course you always go in, you just go in 0.5 centimeter for each time you're matting something to make it slightly smaller, and it looks good. Just go in 0.5 centimeter on all your measurements. So whatever the outside measurement is, just go in 0.5 centimeter, and that will give you a nice matte size. So that's my outside. See how bold and bright that is? It's awesome, isn't it? I've got a little hot pink Melon Mambo piece for the front, and I'm just going to glue that one on. I mean, you can use dimensionals as well. And see, I'm not putting it over everything because it doesn't come out that far across the front. It only needs to be attached on this side here, and we don't want glue coming out over into the inside of our card. So that's this piece. And this is from a Everyday Details dies, and they are also in the online exclusive section. They were in the previous mini, but they have now gone to online exclusive, so it's still available if you are interested in these dies. They are really useful. These are the ones I call really useful dies. Right, we're coming along nicely now for the decorations and the stamping. I wanted to talk to you just briefly. I haven't bought, as I mentioned before, I haven't bought the dies yet, or the stamps. So I had to try and I had to improvise. So what I came up with was, when I looked at, I'll just show you that pattern again. If you sort of see these zinnia dies, I kind of looked at my Cheerful Daisy dies and stamps and thought, well, that's sort of similar. So I have used them, and what I did was, this was the solid one, and this is the detailed one. I have cut them out in Berry Burst and Melon Mambo to layer up. I sort of looked at the colours they were using in the paper. The centerpiece came from the florist die set that has just retired, but you could just use a circle die for that if you wanted to, just to give it a little bit. I thought it was pretty similar to that, so I've done that. And then I also had a old scalloped circle punch, which you can see the dark colours there. I've done that in the Blackberry Bliss, and I thought that doesn't look too bad. That's pretty close. So I'm just going to layer them up too. Put that the center, because we know it's going to go in the center, don't we? Right, layer that up, let it settle for a minute. While we're doing that, I'm going to be using the layering leaf set, and on the inside I'm using So Happy to Celebrate You, which I have, where did I put that stamp? Oh, there it is. Right, So Happy to Celebrate You, and we're going to ink that up. There we go. So Happy to Celebrate You. There we go. Right. Now we have the stamped image. I'm going to place inside, I'm going to place this smaller daisy, which is also from the Cheerful Daisies dies. You can get a smaller daisy in that die set, and I'm going to use that on the inside. I've added already some of the leaves from layering leaves punched out, and the reason, I'm just going to point this out, when you do this part, you can have these pieces going across here, because this is going to close up like this, so that's all right. Don't let them go way over here, because then they're going to get bent. And you can't go below or above this part here because of these, okay? So I can't have it down here or up here, and I can't have it floating way over there. I'm keeping it within here. So again, if I was using this larger one, which I've laid the leaves onto, see, it's too big. It's going to be going over the top of everything. So I'm using the smaller one inside. And again, I'm keeping away from there and just popping it there like so. So that's the inside, and you see how it stands up like this. And then we're going to close it up. And on the outside, I can place the larger one on the outside, which is my plan. So I've got, I'll just add another dimensional to the back of this one. And I can place that on the outside. Those leaves are not sitting just exactly the way I want them to. There we go. And that is my Gatefold Pop Up Card finished. I can add a greeting if I want to the front. For now, it's fine the way it is. And you can see these can either go backwards or they can go forwards, whichever way you prefer. But it's a nice card. It looks very effective. I hope you might give it a try. I do have, now where are those measurements? So I have the measurements here. This is for the centimeters. So you can see that, I hope so. It's pretty straightforward. So it's at 5 centimeters. That's your folded in half line, but it is 10.5, and then 16 centimeters, and then you turn it, and remember you cut between the two score lines there at 2.5 and 12.5, and then you turn it back and you score it between the cut lines at 7 centimeters and 14 centimeters. So that's the centimeters. Now I've done one for you with the inches as well. So there's the inches one. I hope I've got it correct. So again, it's the scoring at 2 inches this time, and you can turn it around and score it at 2 inches or at 6.5 if you want to just keep your paper in there. That's your center line, of course, where you fold your card in half normally. This one is 1 inch and 4.5 inches. Here we're coming in at 3 inches here and 5.5. So there it is in both measurements for you. I hope this will be some help, and you'll give it a go yourself. Thanks for joining in today and watching the video. Have a great day. Bye.